All right, so let's get started with the last line of Horus and Seth. Oops, let me turn Discord off. That's going to be noisy. Let's get started with the last line of Horus and Seth on page 11, not the last line in total. Actually, before we go there, I had a quick follow-up. If you guys indulge me for a moment, we had this weird sentence last week, and I decided to, no, last week, 2 weeks ago, and I decided to dig a bit into it. I'm not sure if anybody else had any more thoughts on it. It was this one here. Ich simu pa entisutech gerwomenef dai imtek. What, and then comes the mysterious M of vegetables or in vegetables, is the one that Seth normally eats here with you, is what Isis asked the gardener. And the question that we had was, well, what is this M? Is that a preposition? Is the whole thing maybe like an adverbial sentence, or is it a nominal sentence, which is what I first thought? So I thought I'd look up a few examples. I want to share that real quick. So, I mean, ich can be used adverbially. I mean, with an adverbial construction. I found this example here. Ich ibek, what is in your heart? In other words, what's your desire? What's your intent? Irai set cherak. This is a subjunctive, so that I may do it for you. So this M here is clearly a preposition. What is in your heart? So that would be an adverbial sentence. The other way to look at this would be nominal. Remember that for nominal sentences in Middle Egyptian, in Late Egyptian, we don't use pu anymore. You need that in Middle Egyptian. So like a pu b or something, or a b pu, or however that works. I forgot. I get confused with Coptic. But in any case, here's an example where they still do it in Late Egyptian, namely ich pu pasecher bin ente tuk imov. What is that bad state, or that state bad, that bad state that you are in it? In other words, what's that terrible state that you're in? And there they still use pu, but that's a classicism. You don't really do that in proper Late Egyptian anymore. That's a carryover from classical. Normally, it's more like ich pai. What is this? We had that before. Ich pai, chesim pai. It's a dog. Very early on, and here basically tons of example sentences. For example, ich neiten misha. What are your travels? I guess. Very often what is means what does XYZ mean? Like, what's that all about? So what's going on with your travels, basically? I think this is from Buenamun. Ich pai iruten. What is it that you are doing? That's a relative form here. So what is this you're doing? Ich pai ineknai geri yanak. What is it that you bring or have brought to me? Yeah, that's also from Buenamun. What is it that you've brought to me, or that you're bringing me now for me? Because he's contrasting that with what other people have done in the past from Egypt for him, and he's basically saying, so what are you doing for me now? And you see, it's like ich something something. So the word is missing. Ich X. What is X? Okay, look. Then you have a ton of examples with enti. Like, for example, ich pa enti ihnen irif. What is it that we shall do? So what that we shall do. Ich na inti tuten chajetu. What is it that you are saying? And so on. So a bunch more of examples. If you like, I can post them later. So that construction is fairly common, but what you see here is it's always just ich, and then ich is something. Very often pa plus a relative pronoun. Now what gets interesting is if that ich is somehow explained further. Here's one. Ich schau what heavy na enti remenik. What is this heavy thing, basically? Na enti remenik, upon your shoulders or upon your back, basically. So what's that heavy thing you're carrying? So here they added like an adjective, basically, to the ich. Here we have ich paik jetuf. This one's weird. What is paik jetuf? I mean, that must mean what you're saying, but why is there an M here? Ich atep ta wen genechebet. What, yeah, here it gets really funky. What in load or burden that they have upon their, I forgot what nechebet is, neck or something. So it's some part here of the anatomy. As you can see by a little meat sign here. And here's another one from our neveu. Ich enchenu na inten. What of vessel that you are bringing, basically. What is the vessel that you're bringing? So if you're wondering where all this is going, basically this here to me suggests that this is a genitive construction. And that's how Cherney sees it. He says, which of vessels are you bringing? So what kind of vessel are you bringing? Neveu reads this as M. He says it's exactly like this. And basically it's like a misspelling for M. And it should be what as a vessel I'm sorry, what as a load is upon their neck or shoulders or whatever it is. So not completely clear. So is this here what we're having? Is it ich em simi, that what Seth is eating, or ich en simi, that Seth is eating? I'm not completely sure, but I think in either case, the way you want to break that sentence down is this is like one part, and this here would be the subject, I guess. So it is a nominal sentence. That what Seth is eating, what, I don't know. I'm still struggling. I personally like this version. I'm just going to say it, my personal preference. This makes more sense to me. What of vegetables is it that Seth eats? So take this here as a noun and this here as a noun phrase, and that's basically like N or A is B, basically. That would be a straight nominal sentence. Because no poo. In Middle Egyptian, it would be something like A poo B, right? But we don't need this anymore. If it is an M, so if I were to break this down, A, M something, that's, what is it, what among or in the vegetables that Seth is eating? I don't know. I'll shut up now, but basically that's how far I got by looking at example sentences. Any thoughts on that one or any feedback? I know it's quite a bunny ride, but
This is great. Would you post it to the channel so we can look at it, peruse it at our leisure?
oh, absolutely. I will do that. Yeah. I just did that like 5 minutes before the class. So sorry for not posting it earlier. So I try to find what people say. Neveu says this construction is super common. And he thinks it's an M. Cherney thinks the exact opposite. Yes, it's common. He thinks it's an N. And Ellie, who takes it as a genitive, just like Cherney, he says you can see it in Ehrmann's Neuägyptische Grammatik. But it's the 1933 edition, which I don't have. I have the 1880, which has only like half as many pages. So I have no idea what it says in 742. If any of you has that, please send me a scan of page or paragraph 742. I'll post the whole thing in the channel later. I wasn't really able, I think they have it on archive, but you have to be subscribed. Okay, I'll shut up. I'll post that later.
I have a quick thought about this. Sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead. No, sure.
I'm probably completely wrong but with that, I was wondering about in Coptic, there's a thing that happens with where some sound will change. Where I was wondering if you have an N before a B, if that would change, or an N before a P, if it could contract to M. So what if you have, I mean, here you don't have that, but what if hypothetically the who would be there right in Middle Egyptian, I think, with ich, who, and then you have a definite article that has a na. What if that sound kind of contracted the poo plus the N contracted into M, but then the poo was lost and not spelled? This is just a crazy thought. I was just kind of bringing it up as if why there might be two variants, or it could just be a misspelling. But it also seems weird to use a completely separate glyph, especially because in these examples, there's not something starting with a B or a P that's spelled out afterwards in late Egyptian here. So, but I don't know, just a thought about how sound changes. And since these are phonetic hieroglyphs used more phonetically than older versions, I don't know. What's the thought?
Right. So I would say a few things. First off, M and N from Dynasty 20 onwards, they change a lot. You see a lot of N's where there should be M's or vice versa in earlier, even late Egyptian. 19th is still quite good about keeping them apart, but not always. But afterwards, it becomes basically as if it was one sound. So you see that in words like, for example, inside, which can be spelled nim or something like that, instead of im. You see it for N and M changing all the time. So that definitely is happening. A contraction of N and pu. Interesting. Then you would sort of expect to see the uncontracted version sometimes, I don't think that's common enough. That being said, this sentence here really confuses me. Ich empike jetuf. What is that you're saying? I don't quite know what to make out of that. So not completely.
Could it have something to do with the perspective, so you don't confuse it with the perspective writing, like the ma and.
With the perspective, what are you thinking about?
So ma could be written ma and the n at the end. It still just mean ma. I think Hodge mentions that in chapter 7 for Middle Egyptian.
Ma. I'd have to check into that. I mean, this is more of a question sentence, so I don't think my first thought would be not related to the perspective. There is an ich, which of course has like a please do so and so meaning. Ich plus segemephos, something of that nature. That exists. Is that what you're thinking of?
A bit uncertain, but perhaps.
Okay. I think the story continues. So this is kind of odd. Maybe we'll find it eventually, but I didn't want to leave it hanging because last time we got stuck there and it wasn't completely resolved. Unfortunately, it still isn't. Oh well. Let me go over to, so that was the sentence we had, and then she basically.
I also say, Aurelio, you did that in 5 minutes. That's amazing. That would have taken me at least an hour or two.
Oh no, it took longer than 5 minutes. Looking up all the sentences definitely took longer. I finished it 5 minutes before the class, just in time.
Anyway, good job. That's amazing.
Thank you, sir. All right, do we want to get started? Where were we?
Last line, aha and F.
So this one, right? So Seth came in his manner of every day, and he's eating the whatchamacallit, the oath, the lettuce that he eats every day, and then I think we're here, right? Something like that? Okay. Who wants it?
I'll go.
All right. And now biological miracle happens.
All right. So we have aha f, aha u, where, imta. Am I reading the right part?
I believe
Hello?
you are.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. Where am I at here? Okay, here we go. Mutu ni heru. Aha satesh. Shamut jedin heru. Keep going.
Yes, I'm muted, but yes.
Okay. And then we have so we have me henu nen sechen, sechenu I hena ek mta quinbet quinboot. Is this quinboot maybe?
I think it's Kenbet. I think it always has the plural strokes, or very often has the plural strokes. Maybe because it's an assembly of people in the court. I'm not sure. Or are you thinking because of that little that
Yep.
here? That's a very good question. Why that's there? I'm not sure. But normally when it's um then I would expect it on the other side though. I'm not completely sure though. You may be right. Not certain.
Keep going.
I think that's good enough. It's not there. I'm just gonna change location.
Then he.
So how about translation?
Okay. So we have so then then he or then he stood and you let's see you were is that a pregnant so we got the seated woman. I know you can mean is it pregnant here? No.
It's right to become pregnant. You're right. You were is to become pregnant.
Okay. But what about the aha in front? Then he what stood or he
It's
or
more like a literary. I mean, you see it a lot, right? Acha NF, Acha in Sutech. It's like when in just basically a way how to introduce the next
no the second aha. Yeah, I got the first one, the second one. So I said then he no
Oh,
right there.
oh my God. Yeah, sorry. There's another one.
Yeah. Aha you weru or you were.
Oops. I don't know. Does anybody have anything on that? Why there's another
I just
another
had became, but I could have been cheating from Ramses. So
Okay. No shame in that. Um, hang on. N. Well, that's really
Yeah, I'm trying to make sense of it. Then he what stood, that don't make sense, right? Then he stood the pregnant
Right.
woman or
right.
I mean, I would say he stood pregnant basically, but why is there an aha? That's really it's really interesting. I read one aha. I didn't, as you went through it, didn't even notice that there are two in there. You're right. I mean, huh.
I wonder if we should search and see if this is like a set expression for becoming pregnant, because it is strange, but I
Okay,
mean, it must.
fair enough. Let's take a look in Ramses to begin with.
Wondering if it's used paraphrastically, like some of the other verbs with participles, but I don't know.
That's sort of what I'm thinking. That is
oh
some kind of like rimse to sit becomes an auxiliary in late Egyptian. Like you sit, but you're not really sitting, but you're sitting there alone or something, basically meaning you're alone. It's more like a estar in Spanish, basically. Same thing. But is that what it is?
Or like
I said perhaps
standing,
he
being
stood up or he
establishing.
jumped up.
He jumped up pregnant? That's not healthy, is it?
Or
So in a
it
shock
happens
state.
that,
He what? I'm sorry, I missed that.
or like there's I don't know if this happens in Egyptian, but in Latin and Greek, there are words like Latin sto stare and Greek histemi that mean to stand, but they also mean to, in some cases, to establish or to set up. So wonder if Egyptian does something like that.
Maybe, huh?
Not related at all linguistically.
yeah, that's
just
what she
kind
was
of a-
saying. That's probably
I didn't realize you could do this with Ramses. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, let me show you that in case that you missed it. So there is something here called complex search, and the way it works is, I mean, the normal search is you just type in either in Egyptian or in French what you're looking for, and you can also specify whether you want to just look for the transliteration or for the translation. If you have something in there that's like super common as a phonetic, so maybe you just want to look for by like transliteration. But you also have the complex search. And the complex search, it would just like first lemma would be in this case aha. Have to pick the right one. So it's not the ship. Let's take this one. Be like standing up or something. And then the next one is your to conceive. And let's see if we have any sentence where the two are like right next to each other. You can also add like skips and other things, so you can make the search a bit more intelligent. But right now I'm looking for them side by side, so I'm just going to do this. And lo and behold, in truth and lie, you said Hieratic irte. So that's a stative. So that is, and she became pregnant. Et elle se retrouva enceinte. She found herself pregnant. I guess that would be the literal translation. Interesting. Then there's our sentence, and that's where it ends, unfortunately. We only have those two. But at least in this case, it's a fixed expression. Now I wonder if aha is really some kind of helping word, auxiliary. Should we take a quick look at that? Open recent. Never, where are you? Let's see if he says anything about that. Okay, we don't like auxiliary verbs. I can't spell, that's what it is. No, he only mentions when. And if I look for aha, there's going to be a million things that come up now. Continuative, second tenses.
I think I remember reading it was either in Young or in Neville what they talked about this combination of infinitive stative constructions.
Okay. Do you know where?
Yeah, I was trying to remember now. Let me see here. Could have been Neville.
Infinitive and old perfective. That should be at 80, page 80. Infinitive and, oh no, he's just contrasting them here. Hang on, I'm going to make this smaller. Uses following the following auxiliary verbs. Okay. We make this bigger. This is probably really hard to read.
There's aha, hemes, and sejer.
Here we go. Yeah, you have it. That's right. The effect described can be seen with an infinitive or old perfective following reper, but especially following aha. Remsi, that was the one I was thinking of. Oh yeah, and sejer, like she sejered merti or something is what we had in the exercises. She was lying down sick, being sick, or in that case. Okay. While where aha, etc. are themselves infinitives, they describe the beginning. Oh, okay, or the repetition of an act. This is cool. So it's exactly like hemsti then. You're using it as a helping verb. Okay, that's cool. Oh, and I see, Ben, you had a bunch of examples too from Faulkner and Middle Egyptian already.
Just the bottom of that is, I think, is a reference to it being used as an auxiliary verb. The rest of it is just other examples of idiomatic uses. So
Got it. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's sort of our answer, and I'll have to peruse Junge later to that seems like an interesting chapter to review. How to use those helper verbs with the stative. Great find.
do you know what that abbreviation is for GR? Is that for Gardner's grammar or?
Oh, in Faulkner? No,
Yeah,
would have to
I
look
could
it up.
look it up. I just
Would
okay,
have
I'll check. Never mind.
would make sense, but not sure. Very good. Does he also? Oh, here's an example. Here's exactly the. Look at that. That's
That is
example of. Sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
no, that's fine. I said, yeah, that's like almost the exact example. Yeah.
That's so close. So you say aha yuerte. So in this case, the stative has
That's the one we found in Ramses.
yes, it
That's
is.
the
It is.
example we just looked up.
So they are probably true, two well-known examples. So, but yeah, that's in this case, Huerte uses the female ending for the stative, the feminine ending, I mean. But of course, for Sudech or for Seth, you wouldn't need that. So that makes perfect sense. And so basically, and then she became pregnant. So she wasn't pregnant, but she became pregnant. She became being pregnant, literally. That makes a lot of sense. Cool. Nice work. Okay, so then I think and yeah, it says that here too, resultative. So this is a stative. Ger aga infinitive, like Chris had it, plus stative. Very cool. Where's our text? Okay, so he became pregnant. Hey, anything's fair with odds. He became pregnant, and he became pregnant. Matut in Sutech. Not in Sutech, in Chor. So do you make out of that part?
Yeah, with the sperm of Heru or the sperm of yeah, the Heru? Yes.
That's what it is. Yeah. Okay, and let's go on.
And then Set went out, or I guess went out saying, or with respect to saying, speaking to Heru. I know it sounds choppy, sorry. Come, or no, come, yeah, come. Hinu. Ooh, don't remember Hinu. Hinu.
To like go quickly, to rush, something of that nature. I say something of that nature because I've seen different translations. Poise thinks it just basically means to go, but most other sources have to go quickly or to haste or to hurry.
Okay.
And it's Genunen or Genen. I'm not completely sure how many N's were pronounced, but those two belong together.
Yeah, my first is to try to translate it as a segment F, but there are no segment F's here, right? So this is is that the dative? Can we hit quickly to for oh no.
It could be. It could be.
Quickly to us.
Could be something else too.
Quickly. No, it's not a segment F. Horus. What's the word sechenu? What is sechenu here?
Secheno is to plead in court, to denounce somebody.
Contend.
Say again?
I like contend. Contend. Because
Oh, is that what it is?
That's the name of the thing.
Yeah, you're right. To contend. Yeah, okay, all right. Take that. To contend.
But yeah, all of those. I mean, all of those translations are valid.
Too funny. To contend. Okay.
All right, so quickly. So you said Henu means, you said to come quickly or to.
Yeah, so I'll just say I will call this Henu is rush, maybe. Let's do it this way. A rush, haste, hurry, something of that nature. And
So this is a segment F form creeping up on us, or
it isn't. It's probably just a Sejimef.
okay. Oh, right, because he was saying that the double N. Okay, I was separating them in my mind. So we rushed, or we rushed. Well, no, not rushed. We hastened, or
Okay.
my plans, or my plan, or my contention. Is that a?
There's something missing here, I think. I think there should be an R in between. Genu segen. No, or maybe no. No, maybe not. Maybe not. I could be wrong. I think I'm wrong. How do I get rid of this R now? Go away. Oh, that's annoying. All right. It could also be, this could also be something else, depending on how you read this thing here.
Right. That's what I was looking at. Is it Secheni? Oh, well, I guess I did say Sechenui,
Right.
but my contention.
It could be, or this is to contend is also a verb.
Oh, I contended against or with respect to you with the or amongst the people, amongst the Quinbet.
Embed is the court.
The court. Okay. I contended against or with respect to you in the court.
Pretty close. You're translating the ZMF now as a past tense, which makes the whole sentence a bit weird, right? Come, we hurried, I contended with you in the court. There's another way how to read the ZMF. If it's not past, it can also be just like a Middle Egyptian.
It's a completed action here, so I contend.
Or the other option, if it's not a past tense, but the other option would be prospective, basically. May I?
AI. May I contend? Okay.
Huh?
Or may I contend?
Especially after kam. Kam, genen, secheni, ergenak, emkenbet. You're very close. You just have to rethink what tenses these two guys are. It's not past
Okay,
tense.
so otherwise it's present tense. So we contend. I'm sorry, I contend, I guess, against you in the court. So it's present tense.
Almost. I would take it as a prospective. So come, let us rush,
May I?
basically, so that I contend with you in the court. Then it makes perfect sense, right?
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, absolutely.
That's very much like Middle Egyptian in this case, because basically when you have the naked ZMF in Middle Egyptian, it's very often like he may give, he may hear, he may say, right? That kind of thing. And that's what it is here, basically. Chenenen, Secheni is basically, I would take it as let us go. It's not imperative. But it's basically let us go so that I may contend, or I may accuse you, whatever, that I may contend with you, Erchenak, in Kimbit. Unless somebody sees it differently, but that's how I would take this one. Let me check real quick.
You said I may contend with you in the court.
Okay, let's see what our friends here have. So next sentence, clear all drawings. Okay, alors he found himself pregnant, and Sudech went to say to Horus, like you said, come, that's right. Genen. So yeah, they say it's a subjunctive, which basically subjunctive, prospective, same thing now in Late Egyptian. So
It is too. That's single N. See that N was kind of not kind
throwing you off, yeah. I don't blame it. I was also confused for something else. The nen, of course, could also, like you said in the beginning, could be a dative, right? And often you have the so-called ethical dative with verbs of motions, like he went himself. He went himself somewhere, which basically just means he went, but they like to reinforce it. So you could think is that like an imperative, go ourselves, but I think that sounds clunky. It makes way more sense if you just take the whole thing as a funky spelling for the subjunctive, where they just spelled a double N, maybe, because that's in my mind, that's how the vowels fell, like nen, that there was like a second nen syllable, and maybe they're just spelling out what they actually said. Would make a lot of sense to me.
I mean, they always do that in this text, though. It's always a double N for the first person plural. I think it might just be a convention by this time.
Could also
it just happens.
It could be. It could be. You're right. And then here Ramses, the team says basically Secheni is also a subjunctive. Que je plaide contre toi au tribunal. And thanks for bearing with my terrible French. Okay, cool. Well done. And so I see here from Ben in the chat, GR is indeed gardener. Acha is an auxiliary verb in Middle Egyptian. Okay, very cool. Good. I think we have that sentence done. Should we look quickly at the hieratic? Or any more questions about the grammar of it? If not, let's look at the hieratic real quick. So, acha enif, acha, the second acha that I missed, you were, to be precise. You were. Here we have, I think for the first time, the pregnant lady. I'm not sure what's going on over her head.
That's just what I was going to ask about.
Say again.
What's in
That's
the
just what
line
I-
above her?
Yeah, that's just what I was going to ask about. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
it's weird.
Not really, right?
Nope.
This
No, it's her.
Huh.
Oh, we have to look her up.
I suppose we have a
I have to know.
All right. I like the spirit. Akupal. What? And pregnant lady is which one? Be something, but be which bee are you?
Right there.
You see it? Okay. Hang on.
It's one of those.
Yeah, it's like column 1, maybe.
This one?
No, it's the
you're-
it's the one with her arm out. Yeah, that's her.
B2, huh? Okay, let's try B2. By the way, I love it that they have these weirdos here, standard glyphs. Why? But all right. Graphemes. B2 we said, right? B2. No, this is just sitting, not birthing.
Oh,
I'm just going by what it says. Sitting, no attributes. So must be another one. B3, no, B4. Whatever that is. What is that?
looks like that's pregnant.
She's crowning.
Okay.
Okay. Hang on, but just want to see what other
I
choices.
mean,
We're muted, Aaron.
That's it.
Gardner uses B2. I mean, he's definitely using B2, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's right.
Okay, no, but
Because the other one's she's giving birth. She's not pregnant.
good point. Is this it then?
Oh, here, there. See the little thing behind her head there?
That's right.
Good hair?
Yeah.
There's something.
Yeah.
21st Dynasty, which is, I mean,
Swear words, maybe? I don't know.
maybe.
Maybe sweat popping off her head or something, or
Maybe.
On the hieroglyph, it almost looks like she has a little bow. She's got a little bow in her hair.
Yes,
There's something there.
it
There is
does.
something there.
I guess you're wearing something. Yeah, here too, huh?
Yeah.
You're almost hours. So she's wearing something on the head. Interesting. Oops.
Insect.
Insect?
Could it be some sort of
Antenna.
not antenna, but something that women hold on to in some cultures so that they can give birth in a certain position? I don't know if there are depictions of that in ancient Egyptian art, but there's some traditions where women have to give birth sitting up and not lying down. So
Yes.
give
Learn
birth
from-
standing.
I mean, yeah, in African cultures, yeah, women do squat when giving birth. Yeah, that's quite common. But I think the thing on her head, though, I don't know if there's something holding her or.
I mean, I've tried to remember where I heard this, but there's like a thing that the woman would hold on to while giving birth, so that she can squat without falling over, basically. I wonder if that's related. I have no idea.
Yeah, I know in the ancient Egypt, they had what I call birthing stools that women would sit on to give birth to. And maybe that's what the three little glyphs are kind of indicating, right, in the hieroglyphs. I know there's a birthing stool with a hole in it, but
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know what
that
this
makes
thing
sense.
is.
Yeah, I don't know about the stuff on top either. That is interesting.
Top red.
Yeah.
I
Isn't
mean, maybe that's that way of distinguishing between a seated woman doing nothing, not a seated woman, but a squatting woman doing nothing and one giving birth, maybe, or
Or maybe it's another, yeah, like some of the glyphs, they look similar to other glyphs, so they'll add a dot or something to distinguish them. Yeah, maybe that's,
could be.
yeah.
Could be. I'm just looking at reliefs here on another screen just to see if there's anything that stands out. I see people talking about
mm,
birthing bricks, which I think is a thing.
mm, on the bricks. Yeah.
Yeah. Like in the judgment scene of the Papyrus of Annie, they have what's the name of the god or goddess? It's like Shu or something, and they've got the Ba being birthed into the afterlife, and it's a birthing brick. I don't. Yeah. Anyway.
Amazing.
Or maybe it could have been combined with another symbol that represents pain or something visually. I don't know, I have no idea. Or effort, something involved with.
I mean, all that seems logical. I'm just looking at all the depictions here of birth, and there's really that you see helpers. You see people basically standing, other women standing behind the woman giving birth and assisting, maybe taking the baby. I don't see any other objects here though, or headbands or anything of that nature. Not sure. Never looked into this before.
Hmm.
I mean, there's so many nice side quests.
I
Kneeling
mean, maybe
position.
it's a simplified depiction of a figure behind with the arm. Like if you draw just a very simple stick
Okay,
figure of
about
the
his head.
spine and then the arm like this
Hmm.
in profile. I have no idea. That's interesting though.
Possible.
Because
I
then you
think
would expect to see that in hieroglyphics as well, which you probably just see
exactly.
that in depiction.
That's where I would have gone. Like, do we ever see this? But this is, I mean, what was the movie? Sector 9? This looks very insectoid, no doubt.
Hmm.
Huh. Okay. Another mystery for you.
I wish I knew what the thing, yeah. So you can see on the back of her head, there's like a little, it almost looks like a backwards Uranus, there's like a little thing on the back of her head. And I almost feel like, as is so often the case, that one little attribute becomes extremely exaggerated, or the other way around. It was really exaggerated in the hieratic,
Could be, huh?
whatever that is. Because if
Whatever.
you think about it, it's taking this shape. So if you
Right.
made that really big, boom, 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 then you get those two arms, second one coming down.
I mean, you see it here, the
Exactly
B2.
that shape, just 10 times bigger.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
see.
see, it's got that shape to it. So if you made that
Mhm.
really huge, it's going to look like two big antenna on the top of her head with the second one coming down.
That's what the
Yeah, that has
insect
to be.
people would say. I know.
See,
No, I
because
really like that theory. That's cool. Like,
Because
is
Yeah, I
there
think you're
other
right.
it's
signs
like
that they
it's
do
like
that?
it's like the arms of a K, right? So if you made that
Yeah.
really big and shift it up a little bit, then it becomes like a big thing on top of her head.
That's a
So
great
it's like
theory.
the K, like the K glyph also, is that what you were saying? Like where there's the bowl or basket, that's the K
Oh,
glyph
I
that
shouldn't have
then gets
said
really
K. I meant
exaggerated.
like our letter K, like the.
Oh,
I
okay.
shouldn't have said that.
No,
That
but I
made
mean,
it
there's
Yeah, I
also
know
like
what you meant.
other things that there's a small detail that gets exaggerated, and that I think that's one of them that's
the
kind
loop.
of
Yeah.
the loop, yeah, on that. And the
Fascinating. Okay,
phonetic
I
the
buy
letter
that.
K where it's like it kind of
Is it a watermark beneath the glyph, or is it something else?
Is it a what beneath the glyph? This,
The writing there. Yeah.
yeah, that
no, I think that's the
almost looks like
birthing stool just simplified. That's cool. The three vertical strokes there.
I think this is just a break in the papyrus, to be honest.
No?
Back to I mean, and I had the same thought for a moment. Like, did somebody scribble on it? It's just so much smaller when you think about it. This here's the normal height of a sign, and this is not even a tenth of it. I would say these are just breaks in the papyrus. To what Christian always used to say, probably still says, namely, why don't you use green backlight instead of a green under a green pad underneath the papyrus that you're photographing, because otherwise you can't tell ink and breaks in the papyrus apart. But considering that there's something here, I don't think there's a secret Syriac or something. It does look a bit like it though. You almost want to read that.
Are there occurrences of other scribes going back to this and making modifications, like those marginal notes, or do you think it's all the same scribe who made this? Because I agree that it looks like a much thinner, finer pen or brush than was used for the other ones, other marks there.
I don't know.
Sometimes, like Latin manuscripts, people will go back and edit them. And
Let me look. There's another set of photographs that aren't high res, but it's photographed on a white background instead of
Ooh,
background, so
okay.
it doesn't have those problems.
I mean, about corrections in papyri by another hand, honestly, don't know. School texts, of course, corrections by the teacher, that happens all the time. Often in red. In literary texts, annotations by somebody else, I don't know. I honestly don't know. You have cool stuff in the really late times, like Ptolemaic times, basically, where people write in Greek on top of demotic texts to indicate the pronunciation, stuff like that. So, I mean, why not? Right? If you get a text from somebody, you write in the margin. So why would that have been different? I could see that. But if we have many extant examples with marginalia, did you find it, Aaron?
It's to the picture, because it's not a high res photo, it's not high res. You just can't see it well enough. But I think there's no way that's writing. It's so, I mean, you would have had to go in with a pin, the tip of a pin, and I don't understand what the point of that would be. There's
One of the people who write
doesn't serve any function. Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly.
I would say I think it's just
maybe it's even just a flaw in the papyrus that's soaked up a little bit of ink in a weird way, like fibers, because it's way too fine to be.
It's parallel to the fibers as well. That's the other thing. It goes exactly with the grain, so to say.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good point. And you can see the grain pretty clearly in these photos too, which is nice.
Right. Now, so we've solved the mystery here, which is really cool. I had no idea what that is, but apparently she's wearing a headband.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That's
cool, huh?
I like that. Yeah.
Me too. Ta matut. Matut. Nothing new here. And Horus or Hor. Acha and Sutech. Shem. We had all this before. Erjet N. Really small n because you're reaching the end of the papyrus. I mean, of the page. Let's go on. And Chor, Ma, so Amu basically, but it's spelled Mai or Mi here. Chenu, this we've talked about before. Chenu, the walking leg with the extra little stroke on top. Chenu Nan. Sechenu, what's this thing? Oh, that's the pa bird that for whatever reason is in Sechenu. So that's what this thing is. Sechenu I, the first person. No, that's the speaking guy. That's the speaking guy. Yeah, of course it's a speaking guy. What am I saying? Right?
Is the extra stroke there the hand going toward his face? His mouth?
How do you write this again? So the normal guy just sitting when he's spelled out. That's how the A1 would look. But in our text, it's mostly abbreviated just to this. While this guy here is, which looks awfully similar. Let's look at that in color. Nope, wrong one. Let's take a look at A1 versus A2. And clear all the others. No, never mind. So A1. This is the form I was thinking of, but you can see that the earlier ones are somewhat different. Yeah, here you see it like basically starts here, then you go over. That's like the traditional form, I would say. And then you have the abbreviation. Sometimes it goes straight like this. Lots of abbreviations. Okay.
There's one that looks like a Chinese character.
Which one?
Go, keep going, keep going,
Going up again?
keep going. Yep, keep going.
Oh,
Right
this
there.
looks like 中国的中, middle of like in, you're right, it does look like a zhong. Too funny. 出国 in Japanese. But yeah, let's go here. So here's the other guy. So this guy clearly starts at the mouth. You see what I mean? Like you really start higher because he's pointing to the mouth. Can we do them side by side? I mean, I should also take, no, let's take 12th Dynasty, that's fine. That's not what we're doing right now, but so here is the A2. Let's go to the A1. Again, I'm going to take something canonical from the Middle Kingdom. So somewhat different principle, right? So middle stroke, and then this thing, basically the one set of arms, the other set, and the legs. And then for the A2, it starts at the mouth and then goes over. Is this still true for our time? So let's take a look much further down. I'll start with the A, let's see, around 20th. We're not getting anything here. Only the shortened form. Well, that's a letdown. Oh, we just had it in the text. What am I doing? Being silly here, you have them side by side. Okay, well, that fixes it. So this was 12th dynasty, the way you would see it like in the Shipwrecked Sailor or something. And then here are the same two guys, but in our text. As you can see, the becomes smaller. The A2 looks just like what you would expect, but a really long middle. Then you do this. And the A1 by now has become this. It's just really the shortened form. So kind of easy to tell apart.
That extra stroke on the top, is that part of the previous character?
Yes, that is.
Yeah, it's the wings of the pawbird.
Yeah.
Ah, got it. Thank you.
Those become, they become like two separate parts, I would say, pretty early on. The little wings here, they move further and further away from the main bird.
Oh, that's cool.
Excuse me. Okay, let's finish this up real quick. Are we on page 12 yet? Yes, we are. Great. So Hieratic with an almost vertical K. M ta. So this is the T. This is the Aleph. M ta Kenbet. And we talked about the Kenbet before that. It has this really odd shape to it. Honestly, this is even odder.
Can you parse out the angle thingy? Where is the angle in those glyphs?
Isn't
You see
it?
what I'm saying? Like the straight edge. Where is that?
It's subtle.
It's there, no, but you're absolutely right. It's the
It's
weird.
there. It's gotten real curvy.
It's got a curve, yeah. So this is part of it, right? Maybe I should have done it like this. And this is part of it, and this. But what is that? Who ordered this? Oh, that's always there. No, that is always there. What's the Ken bit? I remember now. It has like a little, it starts out, I remember this. We have discussed this before. So it starts out something like this. Like this. Go away. Clear all drawings. So you start here, and then you do this part, and then this. But then sooner or later, they start adding one or two little thingies in front, and that's what that is. Let me look this up again. What's the Kenbet glyph number? Anybody has it? Just shout out. I forgot. The nice thing on Christian's keyboard is you can just go pen bed and it will come up. So anything that has an easy phonetic, I don't remember the number of. 038. Here we go. 038. Okay. So here's that thing that I meant. You see how they're approximating the shape? Like this, and then like this, and this, and you close it off. And then for whatever reason, it gets this extra little thing. Here it has 2 strokes. Why? I have no idea. Is it to disambiguate it from something else, from a sign that would look like that? Can't think of what it would be. Not sure. But so yeah, that's what it is. That's what the little something here is.
Are you seeing the T and the swooshy thing under it though? Because
I do. Here's the swishy thing. And
no, that's I think that's the plural strokes under the A1.
no,
No. Oh, I see. I see swishy thing. It's too so big I missed it. Is the T that? Yeah. Okay.
I think it's there. It's not immediately obvious. Same feeling here. So I guess you did it like this. This stroke first, the stroke second. I'm not sure if this comes next. And then you finish it off with a T. And then comes this basically. And then you squish the A1 guy and the plural.
Yeah. Okay. I see it now.
Yeah, but it's not immediately. Yeah,
Cool. Thank you.
very cool. Well, we made it onto page 12. So I guess let's Yep, welcome. Welcome, congratulations. We are almost we're coming towards the end of the text. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 5 more pages. Okie doke. Let's continue here in 2 weeks, I'd say.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.